My name is Eleanor. I'm 85 years old, and I've been alive long enough to watch the world change 3 times over. Long enough to bury people I thought would bury me. Long enough to know that almost everything we worry about doesn't matter, and almost everything that matters we ignore until it's gone. I'm not here to inspire you. I'm here to tell you the truth while I still can. The day everything changed, it was October 14th, 1967. I was 26 years old, married for 4 years, and my daughter Sarah was 2.5. She had my husband's dark curls and my stubborn streak. That morning she wanted to wear her yellow dress, even though it was cold outside. I said no. She cried. I was firm. I remember thinking I was teaching her something important about reason and consequences. We compromised on a sweater over the dress. I thought I'd won. That afternoon she ran a fever. By midnight we were at the hospital. By dawn she was gone. Bacterial meningitis, they said. Nothing anyone could have done, they said. But I kept thinking about that yellow dress. I kept thinking about the 10 minutes we spent arguing when I could have just said yes and held her and told her she looked beautiful. The promise I made. Standing at her grave 3 days later, I made myself a promise. I would never waste another moment on things that didn't matter. I would hold people close. I would say the important things. I would pay attention. I would remember that every ordinary morning could be the last ordinary morning. I meant it with every particle of my being. And for about 6 weeks, I kept that promise. I hugged my husband longer. I called my mother every day. I noticed the color of the sky. Then slowly, quietly, without even realizing it was happening, I forgot. Life has a way of lulling you back to sleep. The bills needed paying. The house needed cleaning. There were errands and appointments and 1,000 small tasks that felt urgent. My husband and I started arguing about money, about his mother, about whether to have another child. The grief became something I carried instead of something I felt, and I stopped paying attention again. The second loss. My husband James died in 1991, heart attack at 53, no warning. He left for work on a Tuesday morning. We'd had coffee together, but I was reading the newspaper. He said something about stopping at the hardware store. I said, without looking up. Those were the last words I said to him. Not, I love you, not have a good day. Not even really listening to what he'd said, just that absent automatic sound you make when you're not really present. I found out at 2:47 p.m. when a police officer came to the door, and standing there in my kitchen, the same kitchen where I'd ignored him that morning, I remembered Sarah's yellow dress. I remembered the promise I'd made 24 years earlier. I'd broken it so completely, I'd forgotten I'd ever made it. The pattern you can't see until it's too late. Here's what I didn't understand when I was young. You think you'll have time. You think there will be a moment when everything slows down and you can finally pay attention, finally be present, finally say the things that matter. You think real life hasn't started yet. When I was 30, I thought I'd have time to be present when the kids were older. When I was 40, I thought I'd have time when my career settled down. When I was 50, I thought retirement would be when I finally lived. But there is no later. There's only now, and then it's gone. Watching you make the same mistakes. I see young people now, people your age, and I recognize the look of someone who thinks they have forever. I see you at restaurants sitting across from people you love, and you're both on your phones. I see you walking past beautiful things without noticing them. I see you saying maybe next time, and we should do that soon, and I'll call them this weekend. I used to do the same thing. I watch mothers in the grocery store distracted and tired, snapping at their children over small things. I want to stop them and say, the yellow dress doesn't matter, but I don't, because I know they won't understand yet. No one ever does. The loneliness. No one mentions I've outlived almost everyone I loved. My parents, my husband, my only child, my 2 sisters, most of my friends. The world is full of people, but it's empty of anyone who remembers the version of me that mattered most. No one alive today knew me when I was young and believed I could do anything. No one remembers James the way I do, or Sarah, or the sound of my mother's laugh. I am the last keeper of all those memories, and when I die, they'll disappear like they never existed. This is what happens when you live long enough. You become a ghost haunting your own life. The body that betrays you. My hands don't work the way they used to. I can't open jars anymore, can't button small buttons, can't write for more than a few minutes without pain. These hands held my daughter, held my husband, baked 1,000 loaves of bread, and wrote 1,000 letters, and planted gardens and painted rooms. Now they shake when I try to hold a coffee cup. My knees hurt when it rains. My back hurts when I sit too long. My eyes need 3 different pairs of glasses. I can't drive at night anymore because the headlights blur into stars. I sleep 4 hours a night if I'm lucky, and I wake up exhausted. This body carried me for 85 years, and now it's giving up piece by piece, and I can't even be angry about it because I wasted so much time when it worked perfectly. The invisibility. Here's something no one tells you about getting old. People stop seeing you. I'll be standing in line at the store, and people will cut in front of me like I'm not there. I'll speak, and people will talk over me. Young people look through me like I'm furniture. I remember being young and doing the same thing to old people, so I understand it. But understanding doesn't make it hurt less. Sometimes I want to grab strangers by the shoulders and say, I was young like you, I was beautiful, I had dreams, I fell in love, I lost everything that mattered. But they wouldn't hear me even if I said it, because I'm invisible now. The regrets that never leave. I don't regret the big things. I don't regret the job I didn't take, or the house I didn't buy, or the vacation I didn't go on. I regret the moments. I regret every time I said not now when my daughter wanted to play. I regret the thousands of times I was physically present with James but mentally somewhere else. I regret not calling my mother more, not visiting my sister more, not telling my friends what they meant to me while they could still hear it. I regret being so sure I had time. The little things that were actually everything. You know what I miss most? Not the weddings or the holidays or the big milestones. I miss Tuesday afternoons. I miss the way James used to hum while he shaved. I miss the weight of Sarah's hand in mine. I miss my mother's kitchen and the specific way the light came through the window at 4 p.m. I miss ordinary conversations about nothing. I miss being bored with people I loved because boredom meant they were there. All the magic was hidden in the regular days, and I didn't notice until the regular days were gone. The afternoons that vanished. I had approximately 31,000 days with my husband. If I'm honest, I was really present for maybe a few hundred of them. The rest I was busy, distracted, waiting for life to start. I had 912 days with my daughter. I was really there for maybe 50 of them. I can still tell you about those 50 days in perfect detail. Every moment is preserved like amber, but the other 862 days dissolved like sugar in water. I thought I was building a life, but I was actually letting it slip away. Your turn. You're reading this, and part of you thinks, that won't be me. I'll do it differently. That's what I thought too. Every person who has ever lived thought they'd be the exception. We all think we have time. We all think we'll pay attention later. We all think the people we love will always be there, and we're always wrong. The truth about time. Time doesn't feel like it's passing when you're young. Your 20s feel like they last forever. Your 30s feel long. Even your 40s feel like you're still finding your way. Then suddenly you're 60 and you can't figure out where the decades went. Then you're 70 and you realize your life is mostly behind you. Then you're 85 and you'd give anything for one more ordinary Tuesday with the people who are gone. But there are no more Tuesdays. There's only now. The same day. Here's what I finally understand. Every day is the same day. October 14th, 1967, when Sarah died, was just a regular Saturday until it wasn't. The Tuesday James left for work was just another Tuesday until it became the last one. You don't get a warning. You don't get to prepare. One moment you're arguing about a yellow dress or reading a newspaper, and the next moment everything that mattered is gone forever. And you'd give anything to go back and pay attention. Pay attention. That's the mantra I whisper to myself now. Pay attention. When I eat breakfast alone in my kitchen, I try to taste the coffee, feel the warmth of the cup, notice the morning light. When I talk to the few people I have left, I try to really listen, really see them, pay attention, because this moment is the only moment that exists. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow might never come. Pay attention. What I'd tell my younger self. If I could go back and talk to 26-year-old Eleanor standing at Sarah's grave making promises, I'd tell her this. You're going to break that promise. Over and over, it's human to forget. But every time you remember, come back. Start again. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Don't wait for later. Don't wait until you're less tired, or less busy, or less scared. Put down the newspaper. Look up from the phone. Stop rushing. Let her wear the yellow dress. Say, I love you, before he leaves. Call your mother. Visit your sister. Tell your friends what they mean to you. Pay attention to the ordinary moments, because they're the only moments you get. The weight of now. I'm 85 years old. I don't know how many days I have left. Maybe 100. Maybe 1,000. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow, and this will be the last thing I ever wrote. But I know this. Everything you think will matter later won't matter at all. And everything you think doesn't matter now is actually everything. The people in front of you right now are the only people you have. This moment right now is the only moment that's real. You think you're building toward something, working toward some future when you'll finally be happy, finally be present, finally live. But this is it. This is the life. This moment, right now, reading these words. My last request. When you finish reading this, I want you to do something. Put down your phone. Close your laptop. Stop scrolling. Look around you. Really look. Notice what's there. Notice who's there. Call someone you love. Not tomorrow. Now. Tell them what they mean to you while they can still hear it. Hold the people you love a little longer. Let the small things be small. Say yes to the yellow dress. Pay attention, because I promise you, one day you'll be 85 years old, and you'll look back at today, and you'll realize this was one of the ordinary days you should have treasured. Don't wait until it's a memory to see how precious it was. The end of the story. My story ends the way all stories end. Soon I'll be gone, and everything I was will go with me. But you're still here. You still have time. Not forever, not as much as you think, but enough. Enough to put down this device and be present. Enough to notice the light, the faces, the moments. Enough to love people while they're here. Pay attention. Please, pay attention.